Hi friends, welcome back to Know Your Role. Today, we're talking about the Scrapper. Why did we call it the Scrapper? I don't know, Infighter wasn't cool enough, so we're scrapping. Yeah. Friends, Scrapper. Let's chat about it, because this is a very unique class. One of the main positives of Scrapper is that with its identity, chances are you're always going to have one movement ability up at least. So in that, you can actually get out of situations as long as you have dash, you combo it into a movement ability, or tech chasing a target from the knockdown. Charging Blow is one of your main engagement tools. It's decently quick, also roundup sweep. But they both have knockdown, so that's a pretty big bonus for both of them. The other two mobility skills they have in Dragon Advent and True Rising Fist generally are pretty slow, and while Dragon Advent is tier 2 protected, True Rising Fist is not. So you gotta be very, very careful of what you're doing, what your placement is, and also control of your identity. The idea of this class in general is that they are very high risk, high reward. They could pump out a lot of damage pretty quickly, but again, they are risky in standing still for a decent amount of their skills. Even though their movement skills are decently fast, the two that do the most damage are slow as well. So this class takes a lot of time and a lot of care and a lot of enthusiasm for it to make it really successful. Are you going to be getting Grandmaster in the first 20 games of trying this class out? No. It requires a lot of elbow grease. So if you're really, really excited about Scrapper, please work with it because it's an incredibly fun class and it has tons of outplay potential and is just super stylish all the time. It does have its weaknesses, and boy, are they glaring. Let's talk about its weaknesses real quick so you can know what to do defensively when you're in these situations. Now, a lot of its damage comes from standing still. And we're talking about Chain Destruction, we're talking about Death Rattle here. Both of these are skills, while they are tier 1 and tier 2 immune with the right tripods. I want to clarify that real quick. You are standing still for them. So you're susceptible to stuns from so many ranged classes. You have to be very careful when you're using these. If you see a Soul Fist playing the range of the fight and you start doing a Chain Destruction on some target and you don't have roll up, you don't have dash up, you're in a very, very bad position where you're almost countered yourself and then they're peeling for their team, isolating you and shutting you down. That's not what you want. You want to be the aggressor here. Now, Scrapper can engage because it does have some decent amount of stagger immunity, paralysis immunity, but this class is a lot about outplay potential. Now, it has great outplay potential in the fact that it has 2 dashes tied to 1 kit. Now, use half the cooldown in the beginning, and then if you use the second dash, it extends the cooldown a little bit more. So be mindful of that. If you just use the 1 dash, it has one of the lowest dash cooldowns in the game. Next to Gunlance is the only one closest. You can get out of a lot of tier 1 through 3 skills with your dash if you place it well. But that requires you to outplay a lot of situations. One thing you should know about this class as well is that it has a lot of knockups though. Most of its charges have some sort of knock-up, knock-down component to it. So something like a Sorceress can just fall over under the amount of pressure that you can exert on them. Like I said earlier, you can engage in these fights and you can start off the fight, but generally you want to isolate one target and just ruin their day. Because if you're isolating that one target while you're both quote unquote out of the fight, you are the aggressor and you can outplay the situation and shut down something like a Gunslinger, something like a Sorceress. So as long as you're counting rolls, as long as you're mindful of the battlefield, you can make Scrapper successful. Like I keep saying with isolating targets, you want to prioritize people that either don't have roll or are really susceptible to tier 2 CC. If you're really looking for the outplay potential, you isolate these targets, you force them to use their first roll, you get your second knockdown, and then you just leave them there because you can then move on to the rest of the team fight and help your team do more damage elsewhere. That person's sitting there for a few seconds and make your way out. A big positive about this class though, it does have a very, very strong stun and it's extremely quick and it also combos into your awakening. So you can quickly pump out a lot of protected damage, and in the initial engagement, if you get 1 or 2 people in a stun, you immediately want to go for it. It does a ton of damage, and starting a team fight with the opponents on the back foot. Also, most likely using their role because they don't want to take a ton more damage from your team following up from something like that. So then you're just in your comfort zone of tech chasing after a target with another knockup into a knockdown situation where you're protected. These are kind of the ideas you want to have as a scrapper, because once you're in the fight, it is quite difficult to get out if you aren't ready for it. Absolutely, 100%. This is a tough class to play. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Make sure you follow Lin Null. This dude is a monster. He's unreal. He's a genius of the battlefield. He got Master on Russia. Follow him on Twitch, please. You will not regret it. Dude is so smart when it comes to this game. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe below. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next Know Your Role. Peace.